there are a few different picks they could have played in the bottom lane. Seraphine is the most common right now. We saw it a lot in the LCK. We've seen it in other regions. It's very popular in solo queue, and it is.
But isn't going to offer a Mega Inferno Bomb right now.
Yeah, if he had Vision, I think he definitely tosses it in, tries to steal it. But
yeah, I was expecting something like that to happen.
I mean, he technically still could, but it would just be a dart thrown in the dark at those grubs. So doesn't it go for it? But he has a bit of a lurk.
Yeah, there's the ulti right on top of Hannah. That is going to be, first blood should be coming through, but never mind. The encore comes down and Pioshik is going to die. Hannah with a six.
And they give the dragon off of the play. A very big disaster here. And this is going to be Pioshik getting the last of these grubs. Does have his smite available for this one. And Duro, there's nothing really he can do over here. Just going to come over and be annoying, but not going to be able to deny this final grub. We'll clear this vision. Pioshik saves his smite for the final one to make sure that Raptor comes in. Won't be any trades. He already used his smite earlier.
BDD going to have to jump away from Closer. Stacks up the bomb though, and now Barrel's making his way in. To Narnia goes the Glacial Prison, but the bouncing bomb is pretty good. There's the flash pole on top of Duro. He's burning down, but does get the flash. The Nature's Grasp to keep them all caught up. And Perfect is teleported in. The Keeper's Verdict just on top of the cow. And in these extended fights, this is where Seraphine can shine as the Q is going to connect, but the headbutt to save Depth. BDD able to jump his way out, and the Mega Inferno Bomb goes down. Is anyone going to die? Yes, finally the tree is going to be cut down, and Beryl, you can see, he could see it, the angle on the Pulverized, but the turret is just going to kill him. And Hannah once again in trouble. The Buster Shot's going to do it. BDD locks down the kill onto the play. Tank that turret and die. That was always going to happen. But the fact that the cleanup did come on through by BDD. The turret in the mid lane. But this double TP may not actually be able to get them anything as the reset does come through. There is mid-outer turret secured by KT. And they might even be able to get an honest 5v5 here if Perfect is going to teleport in. There is the flank angle, the Pulverized on to clear. The Satchel's charged up. And look at the counter-strike value. It's gigantic. But so is the dead Jax now lying on the floor. Mega Inferno Bomb onto 4 is going to soften them up. But now they're able to keep them at arm's length. And yes,
about that play from KT is it looks like we are going to see this turret now in exchange here for Closer.
Yep.
What I loved about that
up and available, and Pioshik is just out of there. They're just going to give over the Drake.
And then rotate over and get the dragon. They had the TP coming up for Perfect. They could have played around it. They could have dragon itself. And they're even going to grab this turret here.
Yeah.
KT kind of getting run around the map.
Yep, 4 people. It is going to be a trade.
Just going to lose this turret because they already got top and they're not grouped for mid. They don't get much in return. They are going to start that Baron, but Staff and not Leandres isn't doing all too much just now.
Raptor taking a bit of damage here is Perfect going in. Let's see whether Pioshik's smite button is going to work out. Well, it's not going to matter because he's just evicted from the pit. The Encore going to get flashed out of the way there by BDD. And now KT, they need a team fight if they're going to win this one. Pioshik making his way back in. The big one's flying down.
Had the better draft here, but the piloting giving us some question marks.
Hasn't quite worked out, although Duro now in a very uncomfortable position is going to flash, and that is going to get him to relative safety. Mega Inferno Bomb, and that'll finish off the kill.
If your opponent is just trying to trade objectives and going, come at me, we have control, then the Triss just solos the dragon and you get nothing.
The tools that KT has, they're the ones that should be able to get them ahead in this series. Headbutt pulled onto Raptor. They can't lose the jungle. Oh no! BNK.
Baron straight into Drake is what KT are asking for.
All right.
Here.
Keeper's Verdict is now back off cooldown right now from Duro, but the Baron, it's just dead. And now the reason around this dragon. As all right, KT, can you actually find any of the angles here as Nature's Grasp does come down? Mega Inferno Bomb has come in. That is the Infernal Soul. As Def trying to get that damage down. They get rid of the Jax. BDD's at full health though. And over he goes. Perfect execution is not the name of the ability, but Perfect just executed Closer. And now
this composition, BNK is not the Giga Infernal Soul comp by any means.
No, it feels a little bit like Infernal Denial, which certainly is still a good thing as Clear has to go in. He's pretty tanky as the Nature's Grasp comes down as well. They get rid of Pioshik first. Out goes the cow and Deft. He has to flash. BDD and Deft, they need a front line to fight around. And Perfect is in the mid lane, and he's going to take an inhibitor turret.
He's going to get this inhibitor turret.
Wow, what the?
Yeah, it's Jax, he hits him pretty hard.
That was big damage as well.
It was, and that's with the Zonius in his inventory. He did go for Sundered Sky. And he has a QSS, so he's very safe on this Jax.
Does manage to leap strike his way out. Closer will be able to eliminate that control ward as Henna. They thought that they may have had an angle there as Raptor taking a lot of damage. The Encore armor just won as Def trying to get himself out of there is successful for now, but he's kind of out of the fight as Raptor extraordinarily low. Perfect trying to get into that back line as Duro pushes him back with the heroic charge. Beryl wants to save his teammate. Mega Inferno Bomb almost just kills them all. And now BDD is in range to get these autos down. The drive-by kill on the tree. That was so sick with the explosive charge delivery. And I think that KT just had that little bit too much damage as Henna is going to be focused and destroyed. And KT, it took them 44 minutes or something like that, but I think they're finally going to win this game.
It may not have been a Penta, but that is the exact type of team fight I was talking about. Def holds his bomb for so long, even though Raptor is definitely killable, just to get the maximum value. Players just trying to buy time here.
That's a cute one. Bought an arm guard just to buy as much space as he possibly can. But there is a big minion wave, and there is so much turret damage with a Ziggs and a Tristana. This game number one, my God, was it hard fought. We basically called it from the draft. BNK put up such
It was the one that you were mentioning you thought was going to come in so strong with this draft. And when you see the Rel, it does really make you feel like this is such a Yone angle. There's so many combos to set up here. The sleep bottom laner as...
All right. Cal versus Metal Pants Horse as, all right, getting a little bit more than they bargained for, but that's so much damage from KT. Closer will be taken down. Def just
I still feel like BNK will absolutely love to get every single grub they can with a Ziggs in their composition, but it's not a Ziggs, Tristana, Jax situation.
Yeah.
So they still end up getting
your way back in on as well. Like it's a champion that does like to bully lane, try and get some of these early advantages.
Which is not going to be favorable. It's perfect. Maybe in trouble now. He has Ghost.
Yep. He's the only teleport on this team as well, as Raptor is going to push him against the wall. He does have the all-out up and available. I like that he hasn't used it as Beryl gets the flash in, finds the crash down on top of Henna. Mega Inferno Bomb just onto Beryl, but he's just fine. BDD gets over the wall. Perfect is still alive. The Impale is decent, but unfortunately he's the one that goes down. They do manage to find the kill onto the Rel, but Perfect still tanking it up. And a 1-for-1 is not what BNK wanted in this moment, as now there are minions running out. If they're still under this turret, they're just going to die. Duro picks up the angle and the aggro, and Henna is the one that
They're going to try to punish this TP as well.
I mean, I don't know about this one, Perfect. Satchel is going to be there. Beryl turning up, and we'll be able to at least
lead.
Yeah, he is absolutely huge in this game. And also walks real fast, as Raptor is going to be able to take the first grub out of the next set. Closer comes on over, and that is going to be 4 of them picked up now, as Beryl doesn't find the Shattering Strike. Henna coming on over, and that is going to be 5 grubs stacked up now for BNK, and now they get the Impale. Pioshik just going to get delivered. Does spin around, keeps himself alive as BDD trying to get in there. Duro taking a lot of damage. Yeah. Well, we don't know anything, actually, as Jonas Strong is keeping us in the dark here. Headbutt does come on through as BDD snaps back, but is still just going to die. And now Def gonna have to flash out of the way of that one. The turret getting angry at Clear, who has to flash. And there it is, the curtain's called on the over-aggressive play from Clear. Beryl not going to be able to defend this turret though, and that should be even more money. Over to the Ziggs. Yeah. Satchel to get that extra money.
Down the hill, and they will get the second dragon. Let's see what the soul is this time around. Ocean.
Ooh, not exactly
low roll. I didn't mean to start
that was a good pun. I like
it. No, it wasn't unintentional, but I think just my brain.
Yeah, Q going to be missed there. Nice footwork there from Duro, but can't get out of the way of the deadly flourish. Has to throw down the ulti. Is now Beryl in amongst 2 members of BNK. Henna throwing these bombs around. Mega Inferno Bomb. Beryl just going to die. Didn't have flash, didn't have any way out.
This is looking good for KT right now. The Ziggs also pushed away, had to TP to mid.
Ooh, another deadly flourish, and now we're going to start it off with the curtain call. Raptor tries to drive his way out, but the ulti from BDD and follow-up is so good, and he's able to snap back out of dodge. I mean,
those recalls to channel, and it looks like it's going to be Perfect, who's been assigned to deal with him. Doesn't even necessarily been having a fantastic game with Jen. Again, part of this fed to him, but again.
Speaking of which, Satchel does come on through. Great knock-up as Henna. The curtain close! From downtown. Duro going to take the 4th one for it as well as Clear. Does make his way in, but he's mini-nah, and that is going to be a 4th bullet. That works out with the Yone in the side lane, and that's what they're employing at the moment. But BDD is going to rotate up. Looks like we're trying to go for another 5v5 as the Magnet Storm into the backline. The ulti pulls them all together. Mega Inferno Bomb does decent work, but PureShit goes golden. The Deadly Flourish again, and these curtains are deadly, as it's a double for the Kazante. BDD, yeah, look, maybe it's time to move back now as you have single-digit health, but Def finds another one! The shield comes out, but it ain't enough! And that is precisely what's happening here. As Rift Scuttler going to be taken down here. Def moving up, looking for an angle. Perfect, right in there already. As Close have to get out. Henna is in trouble, and that's another bullet from Deft. As Clear is also just struggling at the mercy of KT. The mini-nah not going to do anything.
Way too much of a snowball here, and man, Henna getting caught, but on top of that, the angle for Barrel, very good in that last one.
And BDD knew that there was probably someone else making their way in. And KT just utilizing the extra pressure. And we'll be able to take this inner turret down. We are really very quickly heading towards the 10,000 gold lead as the curtains have been called. Looking to see whether they can play the DDR. Duro just going to be blocking it. Oh, God. Could be getting sleepy now as Raptor looking for a bit of an angle here. BDD wanting to get on in there. Doesn't have the ulti, remember, is perfect. Okay, 1v5. I don't know about that one. I think knew he was dead, but he'll take a cow with him.
Maybe all out the other way, maybe towards your teammates.
Yeah, that was an all-in.
Yeah.
But they still get an inhibitor turret for it, and maybe it's fine. Now remember, Def can follow up from about anywhere. Banana Brush has been picked up. And Perfect is not stopping. He's just going to walk in. Deadly Flourish, Deft in a great position. Duro finding a bit of a headbutt back onto PureShit, but he just doesn't seem to care. Goes golden. He'll be absolutely fine. The first kill onto Clear is going to go down. These wallets are absurdly heavy. Just in time for Natlan's release, says Barrel. And he might be falling down here. As, all right, BNK, oh God, they're routed. There are the curtains. Misses the first one, lands the second. One left in the chamber, the stun goes down. It's a double for the Jhin. That'll be the ace, and I don't think a Dragon needs to apply as KT will walk it down the bottom lane and look to make it to a very early match point.
Def tricked me. I thought Jhin was just supposed to be walking around reloading Atlas. He's not supposed to be 10-0 and 8. Def is making a case for maybe one more dance. We're not there yet. They've got to win a third, and they're going to have to beat T1. But what a performance from the legendary 80 carry. KT Rolster making this second one look so easy.
And I remember back to 2018, Def face checking on Jhin.
But that means Poppy comes through. Maybe that Poppy hover was saying, well, I know you'll lock this if we do, in fact, pull this Ziggs out or pull the Leona out. They ban the Rel instead of the Poppy. So Barrel gets basically what he wants again to start us off.
Yeah, kind of crazy. I think the Dragons are going to be very valuable, but I find it interesting that KT aren't putting a little bit more effort into stopping BNK from just taking these grubs for free. Didn't really change very much.
So they just didn't feel like they could make that topside play. And this should.
Yep. It's going to be successfully rating.
I mean, BDD is so low resource this game. You know, he lost lane in the early levels. It's not that the lane is over per se, but he lost so much momentum that he got frozen out of a bunch of minions. Barrel to come bail him out. Now he's super low here again. Duro's going to come over and help Closer get plates.
Yeah, a couple of plates going as Duro is going to get caught here, but BDD's in the most trouble. That is going to be first blood going over to the Corki. And Duro able to avoid the bowling ball as well. There is the flash heroic charge though into the turret range. And that's Barrel answering. I feel like there is a little bit of an issue with getting him over the line later into the game as Barrel is going to get solar flared. In a little bit of trouble here. PureShit does come down. Deadly Flourish is going to be in there. Oh, the heroic charge. That was a bit of a mistime, but still, they are getting sleepy, and that is BDD getting one back. The flash forward from Def as the Impale is decent. 2 kills immediately as Henna is in there, offering that damage back. Deadly Flourish going to miss this time. The dancing grenade gets the flash out from Raptor, but Henna is going so ham. The bullets come through, and it's BDD that's getting so much of this value.
Aggressively, you know, it was a big problem here and part of why he goes down ultimately, but BDD will trade it back, so ends up picking up 2 on the play. Wild game. This is the action you were looking for. This,
yeah,
you thought this was going to look like, and I think it has finally devolved into.
And now that's
bottom lane, but now he's in satchel range of mid. Yep, while KT were kind of floundering around that play towards on the menu and getting a lot of control around this Dragon right now. Does even a sub 4. Like, it's It's not horrible, but it's definitely not the highest value, and it's a trade 1-1. So I think we're going to see a lot more top-side focused plays like we are now.
Yeah, that's a great heroic charge to interrupt the charge from Trade. Knock up the ulti, and Raptor is going to be executed by the turret. Gorgeously played from BDD and Beryl. Duro with a sidestep, but he's still going to get sleepy.
Garner isn't, it's going to be enough to let the turret do the real heavy lifting.
Oh, over the wall goes BDD. He's playing so aggressively this game as Duro just trying to run his way out the Mega Cone. He wants to get there, but he's not going to be able to. It's Beryl that finishes him off, and he'll take the cone out. That is going to be Shelly.
Turret aggro, you might get out of there. If he had flash, you might get out of there. As over here.
Oh dear, it's a sleepy crocodile, and he is just going to get...
But they're not really involved. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Deft could be in trouble here. Does have cleanse, does have flash. Is going to cleanse first. And let's see where he's going to be out. Beryl has a lot of buddies. As the flash forward, Beryl's going to have to flash in answer. As now BDD's in once again. Another deadly flourish. Going to get caught by the ultimate. The snapback comes in. Can he dodge? No, he can't. Because Deft has a laser sight today. And now Raptor is running the wrong direction. Pyoshik going to be able to grab that kill on his opposite number.
This time it's safe.
Well, Beryl looking for an angle here. Duro just happily tanking things up. Good double knockup though. The ulti's in there from BDD. He snaps all the way back. The Impale does come in onto Pyoshik, but he's spinning around. That's the bouncing bomb, and that's going to get there. BDD still able to get a lot of work done, but they're losing so much health. The heroic charge is exactly that, but the flash is even better. Never mind, BDD gets into that backline. There was 2v4, so I'm not entirely sure. Get in there with his Hex Flash. Mega Cone is up. The Baron is still going down. Are we just flipping? I mean, BDD has to teleport to get on in here if they want to make something happen, and now the teleport is going to come on through. Curtains have been called now. Closer slowed up. Raptor as well, taking a bullet. Beryl actually holding on to the Baron, but it does finally reset as the Mega Inferno Bomb goes down. Beryl.
And now they do not have Dragon Prio. BDD is just ripping through this one.
Yeah, perfect. Now coming on over. Deft. Pretty good position here to keep himself safe. And Clear finally finds the wraparound. Beryl gets on in there. The flash forward from Duro. He finds the Solar Flare, but the watch out Eve is so good. And they split up the fight with the Keeper's Verdict. Beryl going down solo. He will fall, but it does not matter. KT will... Beryl gets that control ward over. They know exactly what's going on. Mega Inferno Bomb on Pyoshik right now. And this is going to be a 50-50. Let's see who manages to get it. It's Pyoshik! Gets that smite off. The all-out comes through as Close is in so much trouble. Oh, it's the wrong time to take a nap, but he had no choice as the curtains are being called. But I honestly think the show was already over. Bowling ball comes down, and Beryl, he doesn't have flash, so he's not going to be able to get the flash heroic charge this time. But KT, I think they may have just broken open the game with that steal. I mean, Beryl, ulti through from BDD. A little bit angry. I think Henna may have pulled ahead on that damage done number. As now that heroic charge to come in after the Hex Flash. That's just going to get Henna out of there. The Impale going to do absolutely nothing. BDD snapping back anyway. And the inner turret will be falling down. How much more can KT get from this Baron?
I mean, they're going to be able to get a lot. Jin in the top lane. Deft is taking out that inner.
In, Beryl and perfect. Going to bring up the Rift. Deft was kind of by himself because of that. Now BDD is going to make his way in. Deadly Flourish. Deft can still affect this fight. The flash over from Clear should mean that the Jin goes down, but they've already traded 1-for-1. There's still plenty of damage, but can they actually land at the answers? Yes. Clear going to go down first. Perfect tanking it up. Not going to be able to get out. It's messy, but that's exactly how KT likes it. Flash out from Raptor to try and keep him alive. The snapback comes in. The crash is decent. And another heroic charge. Henna trying to walk his way out. He ain't going to be able to get out of this one.
They absolutely get one more chance. I'm not going to favor them considering the massive gold advantage here for KT and the composition of KT and the fact that BDD has 8 kills, has a QSS.
That is a decent bowling ball there from Pyoshik. Yeah,
Beryl.
They're going to set up the sleep. Duro going to get woken up, but it is a bad dream, and it turns into reality. He is going to fall. It's a 1-for-1 as far as these supports are concerned, as BDD not quite able to find the angle, but Clear, he can't get out of there. The pickoff from Perfect is so good onto Henna, and he's just executed by BDD. He snaps back, and he's going to snap towards the deciding match for Worlds against T1. And if I was a T1 fan, I honestly wouldn't know how to feel. But this KT, on this day today, look really, really good.
If KT plays like this in these last two games, we'll forget about game one for the moment being. If they actually play like this, I think they should be scared. I do not think it is going to be the walkover we thought maybe it would be after watching game one. KT, we didn't know what their form was going to look like going into today, but now we have our answer. And BDD this time leads his squad from it.
Def and PearX of KT Rolster, who managed to get a 3-0 victory in round 2 of the LCK regional qualifiers. They will move up to the 4th seed decider tomorrow. Congratulations! PearX, it was a must-win match today, and you managed to secure a chance at 4th seed. How do you feel?
이제 남은 팀들이 다
You know, lately,
가가지고
with all the remaining teams,
그 상황이 많이 없었는데
we didn't really get a good opportunity to scrim a lot of different teams. And despite that, being able to win and secure a 3-0 victory makes me very happy. And Deft, what a well-thought-out gameplay. So how desperately did you want to advance to Worlds?
올해라고 크게 다른 건 없는 것 같고 그냥
You know, nothing's different about this year.
선발전이다
Just
보니까
every
좀
time
익숙해서 잘
I am
됐던 것
at the
같습니다.
qualifiers, I think I'm pretty much used to playing out my qualifiers, so I think that's why it went pretty well today. And PearX, against BNK FearX today, that's how you got a clean 3-0 victory, and it felt like your gameplay was even more solid today. So what was your main focus while preparing?
기억이 안 나는데 그냥 대회에 오니까
I can't really remember what I focused on mainly, but I think whenever we're on the stage, we definitely have better concentration. And Deft, in game 1, your Ziggs was open, and you were the Mega Inferno Bomb itself. And Ziggs was actually a bit blind picked on blue side all series, so how would you rate Ziggs?
풀팀에서 결국에
I feel like, yeah, I'm pretty solid on
직스를 준
Ziggs.
팀들이 좀 많은 것 같습니다. 그래서 풀려서
And I feel
했는데
like
되게
there's a lot of teams that have been leaving Ziggs open with the meta currently, and I do always enjoy playing Ziggs whenever the opportunity comes. And in games 2 and 3, you picked Jin against Ziggs and showcased an insane accuracy with your skill shots. So, are you happy with how you played today?
비행 연습이 내년에 써야 되기
Yeah.
때문에 그래서 좀 더
Honestly, I always have
신중히
to
썼는데
practice
잘
my
맞는 것
aim.
같습니다.
And I was very careful about my skill shots, and I'm glad that it went really well. And PearX, in games 2 and 3, you got to play your beloved Lilia. So what made you prioritize Lilia over Ziggs and Corki?
이제 선픽으로
You know, Lilia,
가져왔을 때 그렇게 큰 카운터가
when you
없다고
take
생각했고
Lilia
오늘 경기 특히
as the
릴리아의
third pick, there's not much counter to her. And today was the day where I thought that Lilia had a really big importance and impact in the game, so I think that's why I went with her. So you faced Skarner with Lilia. So what was your read on the matchup?
상대로 워낙 좋다 보니까 저희가 사고 안
No,
나는
Lilia's really
선에서
good against
그냥
tank
시간 지날수록
junglers.
릴리아가 좀
So
더
as long as nothing big
유리해지더라고요.
happens,
그래서
or
그냥
as long as we don't make
정글은
any
좀 기분
big
좋게 했던 것
mistakes,
같습니다.
I knew that jungle would be pretty easy going. And I had very fun time today. And PearX, 2022, we're starting to see a similar picture that's bringing back some good
사실
memories,
이제
huh? As for this qualifiers
그때
run
이제
by
우승을
KT, what's your gut
했어가지고
feeling
좋은
about it?
기억이지 그 과정들이 되게
You know, yeah, we
험난했다고
actually
생각을 하는데
ended up winning
그럼에도 그 험난한 과정을
consecutively
다시
all the
하고
way to the end, so I am
진출을
feeling
했으면
pretty
좋겠습니다.
good. It's good memories, and I want to make sure that we relive through those memories and make it all the way again. And Deft, with how you pushed through in 2021, 2022, and 2023, Deft of qualifiers is a thing now. So how do you like this title?
좀
You know, it sounds pretty nice.
그런지 모르겠는데 약간 목숨이 없을 때 좀 더
I
잘
can't
해주는
tell
것 같습니다.
why, but I feel like whenever I'm at a clinch and I don't have any more room to lose, I tend to do so much better. And PearX, at last, tomorrow, you will battle T1 with the last spot for Worlds, the 4th seed on the line. So you're aiming for your
이제
3rd consecutive
아무래도
Worlds.
T1이 되게 잘 한다고 생각을 해가지고
No, I do feel like
좀잘
T1 does really
풀리면은
well.
충분히 이길 수 있을 것
So
같고
as long as it
하루
goes well for us, I
남았지만 잘
think we
준비해서
definitely have a good chance
내일
to
꼭
win.
좋은 모습
And although we only
보여드리고
have one
싶습니다.
day to prepare, I want to make sure that we show a great performance and display and get a good outcome for tomorrow. And Deft, it would be your 9th consecutive world appearance if you make it. A record for the most world appearances. So what mindset will you go into tomorrow with? You know, before I take my leave, I really want to go on an international tournament. So, you know, I just gotta say, I will just have to win no matter what. And that's the end of the interview from Deft and FearX. Looking forward to a great Worlds one for you guys. And back to the space. Thank you.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm starting to get nervous. I'm so nervous for tomorrow because you can see how much it means to Deft, but you also know T1, this roster has been one of the longest standing rosters in the history of League of Legends that has gone unchanged, as well as probably the current longest standing roster. They've been together for 3 years. T1 wouldn't make, you know, if they lose, they wouldn't. This is the first time since 2020. Like, there's so much on the line here, Ox.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every really long-term League fan who's been following for such a long time remembers that moment when that 2013 roster who ended up winning Worlds with SKT didn't qualify next year. Faker not qualifying for Worlds as the reigning champion. That could happen again. You know, that could happen again. It would be so crazy. Any time the reigning champ doesn't make it, it's just such a mad experience to happen. And KT, you know, they showed good form today towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, once again, it's a telecom war, but also we're going to have 8 Worlds winners tomorrow. So it's going to be like so much pressure. And as I said, it's last chance to prove yourself.